Good evening, everybody. I'm getting up your chats over here. I'm playing some live jazz from my new speaker because it's Jazz Fest down in New Orleans, and that must be celebrated. In fact, I thought, what better way to go live on YouTube tonight for SuperChat than with some live New Orleans jazz music, as New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival is taking place right now in New Orleans. What's up, Smetty Patty? Thank you for the donation, Elmo Welmo. I'm always laughing by the great screen names that I come across on YouTube, like Elmo Welmo. You're the best. Hello, Elmo Welmo. Hello, Henry Scott. Hello, Fury Fox. You know I love you. Hello, Majok. Smiddle Smaddle. I'm a Banana. Geek TV. Rumabubadum. Bradley Dagon. Hudda-da-da. Charlie Carly Charlie. Mason Woods. I'm a Banana. Wow, I can't speak so fast. Thank you guys for joining me for the spontaneous super chat. We will take some of your questions and then I will rant about a few things. And we will play a little bit of music. What's up, Riot Girl? What's up, Freddie Mercury? Love you guys. What's happening? Good question. Well, if you've on my alerts for my YouTube page tonight, you'll notice that I uploaded one more new video. Well, not new. I re-uploaded a video that actually does not have Chase in it, and it dawned on me that he doesn't. So I uploaded it, and it's the one where him and I play puppets with the rabbit puppet. And I re-uploaded it tonight, and it is live, and the title of it is Boy with Autism Becomes Voice of Rabbit Puppet. The other video is Encore 18-year-old with Autism Conversations with Dad. So what I did is re-upload that tonight, and in doing so I blurred out his face, and I'm going to test it right here actually as we were speaking to make sure that it worked appropriately. Additionally, this past weekend, I had Chase with me, and we opened up a lot of fan mail and fan boxes and fan friend gifts. And then I went to the post office again today, and there was 5 more boxes and gifts. So again, thank you as always to your generosity. Thank you, Curtis from PA. Thank you, Starfire and Linda for the jar. And thank you for 2 different fans who sent Chase bags, literally bags of Swedish fish. I couldn't believe it. It was so funny. And for the first time ever, Chase actually took back to his mother's house gifts and stuff that he opened up at Daddy's house, like this bags of Swedish fish and some other things. So this other video that I'm gonna make live again tonight is the original Encore 18-year-old with Autism Conversations with Dad video with Chase's face blurred out. For the time being, that's what I'm going to do, and I don't know what the future is going to bring, so I appreciate all your patience of all you fans. So what we're going to do live here right now as we are super chatting is I will make that video live, and you know, it's a re-upload from a video I took down, and I'm sure you'll recognize it, and you'll notice that Chase's face is indeed blurred out. So here we go. I'm going to make it live right now. It's called Encore 18-year-old with Autism. So I videotaped this around Christmas, and it was completely spontaneous. Chase was once again just being like super charming and snuggling with me on the couch, and I just hit record. So I recorded it with this camera, the GX7 with the Joby and the nice flip up, and it just turned out to be one of my favorite videos that I shot of all of last year. So here we go. We'll do the countdown here live together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is now public. So enjoy it. Don't rag on me. I know his face is blurred out. I apologize. I'm sorry. It sucks that it has to be this way for now, but it is what it is, and I'm not going to elaborate, and I'm not going to get into it, but it's still a great video. So without further ado, let's answer some of your questions. And you know, any super chat I do, it's going to be about you guys and the fans and all that you do to help support the channel, your subscriptions, your likes, your comments, your views, keep everything up and running. And before I jump into some questions, let me say that I just had a great weekend with Chase. We had him Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We had, you know, one of those weekends where when I dropped him back off at his mama's house, I was just nothing but smiles and happy from my head to my heart to my soul of how precious he is and how grateful I am to be his father and his daddy and have him in my life, and how much he enriches my life and how incredibly special he is. And we had like a moment in the pool where I was just basically almost broke out in tears. And that moment basically was Chase had his goggles on. He was going in and out of the water, and he was actually playing with me. You know, a lot of my interactions with Chase for 18 and a half years have been nonverbal. Some of the most poignant autism interactions between father and son have almost all been nonverbal. And it's just an incredible experience and feeling that someday I hopefully to write a book about it, because I've only experienced it with, I don't know, like a dog or something or some other object that is mostly nonverbal, where the communication is nonverbal and it's in the form of other communications. And humans have many different ways to communicate. And Chase did that with me in the pool, and it was just unbelievable. He had this like otter that he kept filling up with water, and he was squirting me, and he was laughing. And then he took the noodle tube that you would have in a pool, and he's bringing it on water, and he was squirting me, and he was laughing. And it was just like, for like a brief half hour, it was as if Chase didn't have autism, which was unbelievable. Just incredible experience, and I wanted to share that with you guys and tell you guys that. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more in a second. Before I do, I always promised Carmen that I would text her when I'm live on YouTube, so let me text her. Hang out with me a second. We'll get to some of your questions. I'm live on YouTube. We just had an incredible time together in Palm Springs. Carmen and I did in La Quinta, California. So I put that video up of the vlog of that on Kimock7, my sub channel. So let's get you some of your questions. I got your super chats going. I can read all of them here. I'll give you a bunch of shout outs. Hello, Selena. Hello, Maddie Edwards. Maddie, my brother has autism. Do you have any suggestions on how to calm him down when he has a meltdown? You know, I have a video on YouTube about that. It's called Siblings and Autism Meltdowns. Search Kimock7 Siblings and Autism Meltdowns. So most of what I've always said on that question is the less you do, the better. During Chase's meltdowns, the quieter I am, the better. The more I can remove him from that environment, the better. Typically, there's something in the environment that's causing him to have that meltdown. It could be a headache. It could be a stomach ache. It could be complete overstimulation, oversensitizing in his environment. So that's typically what I've recommended, that it has to run its course. There is no magic pill for it. I've removed Chase from many different environments when he's having meltdowns, and he typically would calm down. Chase has never had violent meltdowns. He's never had violent outbursts. He doesn't throw things. He doesn't punch or scratch or bite. So I'm very lucky. Milo, I'll never quit. I promise you that. Fury Fox, thank you so much for all your comments. I'm looking at different chat. I have like 3 different screens of chats going on. What does my shirt say? This shirt is from the Robertson family. They are from downstate Illinois, and they sent me this shirt, and it's featured in another video. I have to connect with him and put it up for sale. Maybe we can like sell him for $10 or something. He created it. He's the same person that sent Chase the hoodie that says, "Look, Dad, I have muscles." Blaine Bedford, how do you tell when your autistic family member needs to be relaxed, calm down before a meltdown? How do you tell when your needs to be relaxed and calm down before a meltdown? I mean, what's up, Running for Autism? I mean, the answer to that question is Chase typically starts to cry, starts to shake, turns red. He will pace and flap his hands when he's having different anxiety attacks or meltdowns. And again, it can be a long, arduous, painful experience to watch him have a meltdown, and there is no magic pill or answer. I let it run its course. I've said in previous live super chats that as your family member or brother or sister or son or daughter gets older, those meltdowns are going to be less severe. I'm talking in very general terms there, and that's from my own experience. And it's certainly true for Chase that he himself has learned to calm himself down when he's having a meltdown. I didn't teach him it. He's learned to teach himself. And I could see him like try to control his breathing, try to relax, and try to not cry and freak out. I hope that's helpful. That's a Noti Blogging asks, why is Chase's face covered with blurriness? I'm not going to get into the reasons why right now. It's just the state of affairs for right now, okay? If you follow me the last 8 months, the channel is constantly changing and morphing, and I'm not going to get into the details and reasons why, other than to say that somebody did file a privacy complaint against basically all the videos. How do you know when Chase is sad or mad or happy? Well, it's very obvious, his body language. But there is more to that answer. There are times when Chase laughs and cries at the same time. There are times when I might think that he is sad or down. And hey, thank you for the donation, Nielsen. I'll read your comment in a second. There are times when I think Chase is sad or down. It's absolutely my imagination. It is difficult sometimes for me to read his emotions because of his autism. If I can't see his facial expressions, it can be difficult for me to understand how he is feeling. None of us will ever fully understand what emotions are going through his head in a full comprehensive way. He does smile and have many facial expressions quite often. And I can always tell when he's irritated by the way he covers his head or covers his eyes or plugs his ears or his body language. And body language is everything. It didn't happen overnight. It was through, especially the first 7 or 8 years to really learn about him and his form of autism. S.J. Nielsen, thank you for the super chat donation. I'm going to read your comment right now. It's very generous of you. You asked, I'm starting an assistant teaching job where I will be working with 6 kids with autism. Any advice? Wow. Starting an assistant teaching job where I will be working with 6 kids with autism. Before I answer your question, what age are these kids? Are they like toddlers, kindergarten, or more high school kids? Because my answer is going to be different and depending on their age. So S.J. Nielsen, if you could tell me what age group you're talking about, I'd be happy to answer your question. Hey, what's up, Priscilla Mass? Thank you for joining in. Congratulations on the Shorty Award. Well deserved. I was telling somebody about it recently that you won it. Hey, SJ, what age group are you talking about? I mean, one of my recommendations, I've never been a teacher for multiple children with autism. I've sat in Chase's classrooms years ago on Easter Seals. I've never taught any form of classroom with kids and stuff. Number one, what I recommend is you fully educate yourself 100%. I said it recently on different super chats that the more videos you can watch on YouTube, the better. You can't watch enough, but specific to the age group that you're talking about, that you're teaching, would be more appropriate. The other thing you recommend, and you notice that every form of autism, it's like a flower in a field. There's going to be, if you have a classroom of 10 different kids, every single kid in that classroom is going to have a different level of autism and different needs and emotions and different social ability. There's no one specific stereotype, Chase is the byproduct of extensive early intervention services, so he in of himself is he's in his own pod, if you will. He really beats the odds and beats a lot of stereotypes. And last summer I spent the whole day at a Special Olympics baseball game with him and the other kids, and trust me, he was one of the highest functioning kids there. And this is, which is kind of alarming for me to say, because Chase is still mostly nonverbal, but yet he was still mostly higher functioning. And it's kind of difficult for me to explain what I mean by that and everything. So S.J. Nielsen, you said I have 3 middle school and 3 high school. No, I'm asking what age. Oh, okay, middle school and high school. Wow. Well, hey, number one is you got to have an open heart. You got to be very patient, loving. These are very special angels. When I say special, these kids are, I love for you to think of them that they're not as different as you think they are, that they experience a lot of the same emotions that you experience: happiness, sadness, anxiety, anger, stress, surprise. They are still stimulated by a lot of the same things you are, but they're often overstimulated by everything going on in their environment. So I recommend that you learn about autism as much as you can. You're going to learn on the job, so have an open heart and an open mind and an open eye, that each one of the kids that you're going to meet in the classroom, and each one of them individually, is going to teach you something about autism. And I'm a true believer in communication that's a bit nonverbal. So when I say nonverbal, it's holding hands, it's hugging, it's pointing, it's showing different objects or pictures. It's talking soft and gentle and slow and peaceful and kind and loving. Yet at the same time, you may have somebody that you meet that is more higher functioning and more along the Asperger's, that may want to talk with you, and that's happened to me as well. And I've been trapped for a half hour of somebody talking to me that is more socially awkward but brilliant in terms of their mind and their creativity. It's such a cool question that you ask, in terms of advice on that. For me, it comes very, very natural, but that's, again, if you've followed me long enough, I've lived almost my entire life around special needs children and adults. And for me, it's just very natural, and I've long learned and come to understand that people and adults and children that have special needs have more in common with the neurotypical than we would ever recognize or truly believe. And the more you're around that, the more you will understand that, and it will bring you such awareness and a sense of, wow, a lot of these people are stereotyped or not given credit for their intelligence. A lot of this is called intellectual disabilities, but many of these kids and these adults, it's not a lack of input, it's more of a lack of output. So just because somebody can't say something or talk about something, then a lot of society believes that they're not informed or they're not knowledgeable, and that's a wrong deduction. To deduce that is completely false. Chase is a prime example that he understands everything going around him. I guarantee it. This past weekend was a prime example. He perceives, comprehends, and understands almost everything that a typical 18-year-old would. in terms of a larger world focus and understanding, of course he doesn't. You know, he's lived a very isolated life. So I'm going to end that answer right there because I could talk about that for well over an hour. Yeah. So it's a long, wild answer. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for all your patience, especially the last several weeks. I have the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival playing in the background. I'm a huge fan of New Orleans, and I went down there for 6 consecutive years, and it's happening right as we're speaking. Well, this coming weekend, and it did last weekend, so I'm nostalgic in it, and I've been cranking it at home here for the last 4 hours on my new speaker, which is very cool. I have my Autism Sense Tracker package right here from one of my proud supporters. And we have 3 packages that we're going to open up for you guys live here on YouTube that I just picked up from the post office. One of them is an LP from Europe and England that somebody sent me. But let me try and get to some of your questions again and see if I can answer them. Hey, thank you from Japan. I know you've texted and emailed and sent me private messages on Facebook, and you're just the best. And I appreciate all your photos and generosity and all the drawings you've sent Chase. I've showed them to him. Some of them are up on the Kimock7 Autism vlog, and wow, you're a really good artist. Ugh. I've been rambling my mouth here. Now it's time for me to have some water. What's up, Fury Fox? What's up, Megan Bone? SJ Nielsen, I hope I answered your question. You said, thank you so much. I'm excited, but I'm hoping that I will do well. This is my first teaching job. You're going to do great. You know why you're going to do great? Because you're already willing to do it. You already have that drive and that ambition and that bravery and courage. There's a lot of people out there that would not undertake that, and you should give yourself a lot of credit right off the bat for doing it, and you should know in your heart that people like you are in desperate need in the United States and around the world. Chase would not be who he is without his teachers, not even close. And I'm not just talking his ABA teachers, I'm talking about everybody. Hey, thank you, Japan. I wish I could pronounce your name, but I'm just going to keep saying Japan. Yeah, Chase has got what am I drinking up? It's just water with blue, squirt electrolytes in it. I have to be at work by 8 in the morning tomorrow. Fury Fox, my friend and I have friends with since kindergarten, screams and only says 1 or 2 words and runs. He walks out of doors. He has autism and he loves to give high fives. Very cool. Thank you for sharing. What kind of jokes do people with autism usually like and understand? I don't know. I can't really understand that. I can't really answer that. Mikola. What's up, just a fan from India? Thank you for tuning in. Jordan greets, I go to school with a couple of kids that have autism. What is something that I can do to make them feel more welcome? Don't judge them. Try and be their friend, but it doesn't have to be in a big spoken word form. A smile would be nice. A hello. Have a nice day. Or very outwardly say, hey, I'd love to be your friend. What do you like? Are you into drawing? Are you into sports? What things do you like to watch on YouTube? Sometimes that person with or without autism may or may not answer you. And Chase doesn't outwardly, that I've ever witnessed, try to make friends. I'm not closely attached to his high school classroom or anything like that. So I can't speak too knowledgeably about it, but, I was in the pool a couple months ago with 3 different kids with autism and Down syndrome. So my approach with them is again, just nonverbal. I'm just being with them. So just being in their presence is being a kind person, if that makes any sense. What's up, Fresh Love? What's up, Elementary Fox? Mary Garcia, thank you for tuning in. What's up, Olivia, aka Lupus Girl? How are you? What's up, Likely? I've worked with kids with autism before. It was pretty cool, not gonna lie. Hey, Dubai. Very cool to know that Kimock7 is reaching fans in Dubai. Unbelievable. The reach of YouTube blows my mind every time I'm on it. Amber G, I cannot be your dad, but I will laugh. Thank you for all your support, Amber G, and all your kindness and all your kind comments. You too as well, Banana, and all you guys that follow me on Instagram. Thank you for your patience through my hacking of Instagram. Grape Juice asks, is autism and being on the autism spectrum the same thing? Pretty much. However, to say someone has autism, like these shows, The Good Doctor or Atypical, where it just blanketly says autism, you know, for the naive person, the naive public person that doesn't know anything about autism, they're immediately going to think that The Good Doctor or the Atypical is how most people with autism are, or Rain Man, whatever presence, or even Kimock7 and Chase, or even Abby on Fathering Autism. That, you know, whoever they associate the word autism with and what they see and watch on YouTube or TV, that may become their understanding of what autism is, but all of that would be false, because those are just a few references of autism. And trust me, I speak from experience that, you know, Chase is just one example of autism. Abby is just one example of autism. The Good Doctor, Atypical, Rain Man, the list goes on and on and on and on. I've met very low functioning, I've met very, very high functioning. And it's a very, very broad spectrum that is extremely vast. And I'd say there's hundreds, if not thousands, of different versions of autism. You know, and Chase is always changing and morphing and developing. It's not like he stays stagnant. His vocabulary is always progressing. His development, his speech, his skills, his social abilities, constantly developing. And I would have to say that for many people with autism, especially the byproducts of early intervention services, they too are always going to progress and grow and develop. And you should know that. What's up, Megan Bone? Valley, my sister says good night. Well, good night, sleep tight. Enrique Puglaski, what area of the brain does autism affect? It's the frontal part here that controls mostly speech. Does anyone annoy you when someone says that someone is autistic when they really don't know nothing about autism? You know, I know that Ice Poseidon does that, you know. Yeah, I mean, does it annoy me? I suppose so. Nobody's done it to me personally or anything like that. I did have an episode at the pool the other day where the whole pool was closed and nobody under 18 was allowed, and the employees there kept coming up to me and looking strange at me and Chase because Chase was in the pool, and then they finally kept talking to me, like asking how old he was, and I'm like, he's almost 19, and they're just giving me weird looks and almost apologetic, and you know, he looks like he's 12. So yeah, I'm gonna have to start carrying an ID. Chase does have a state ID, so I can prove to people that he is 12 in those occasions. Everyone's always been very kind and nice to Chase in public. I've had very few rude instances, other than a story I've already told several times at a restaurant. What else does autism affect than just the brain? Well, it affects all your senses: your hearing, your sight, your touch, your taste, your smell, and your gut. It's also a biochemical disorder. Many people with autism have eating disorders, digestive disorders, constipation, allergies to gluten and casein. The list goes on and on and on. So you can certainly study that on YouTube and on, you know, do Google searches and search it. Autism is not just a lack of speech. It's multitude of challenges and disorders that affect the ability to process everything going around in the person's environment. Like right now, I can filter out a lot of what's going around and I can focus on you guys. You know, the person with autism may have a more difficult time doing Anaya Sleet, who wants to date me? I'm a girl and I'm interested in boys. Well, you guys look up Anaya Sleet. They're Patrick Larmer. Yep, neurotypical disorder. I'm an autistic man. Beauty H, I really love your videos. They've helped me connect with my cousin. Thank you, and sorry for the bad English. Good night. You're welcome. Autism teenage years, speech and motor skills. Absolutely. You know, Chase, Carmen and I just had a conversation about Chase in the bathroom last night, and I was trying to, continue to educate her about Chase's motor skills in the bathroom, even to this day at age almost 19. And, it's a constant education for everybody. What's up, Melanie Barksdale? I remember you. Emily Hinchnos, thank you for supporting Melanie. Thank you, Emily, for supporting the channel. Melanie writes, I have Asperger's and I'm sensitive to light and sound in a crowded place. Everyone's voice just becomes... I'm glad you brought that out, Melanie, because I took the initiative on Sunday and I took Chase downtown. It was a beautiful 65-degree weather day. And I'm like, let's get out of the house. Let's go downtown to Millennium Park in Chicago. There's a big, huge bicentennial playground park there that opened up. And the whole drive down, he was in a great mood and everything. The moment we got there, he put his hoodie on and he went like this and covered his ears and his eyes. Even though he had his ear defenders on, he still was covering his ears and his eyes the entire time we were there. And he pulled me away from Millennium Park. He pulled me away from any people, any wind, any sound, any light, any noise. And in the playground, which he had been to before, he pulled me away from that. I took him aside and very calmly asked him what he would prefer to do. He said CVS Pharmacy. I said, okay. We went to CVS Pharmacy. He wanted to get some Mike and Ike's and a ginger ale, which didn't surprise me. And then I asked him, would you be interested in going to the playground where we used to go a decade ago? I used to live in that area. And he kind of didn't say yes or no. So I led him to that playground where there's swings and it's more quiet and peaceful. And we did that for a while. And that was it. But it was a great example of him going from completely calm to totally off the wall, overstimulated, and I could clearly see that he was stressed out. I'm not going to get into it, Haley. Panda Games, I don't like having autism because everyone treats me differently and some kids physically hurt me and sometimes they scream in my ear and I hate it. Well, I'm sorry that happens to you, Panda. I hope to God that never happens to Chase at school. I don't have any evidence of him ever being bullied or made fun of or anything. And I hope to God that, as he gets older, that doesn't happen. Megan Bone, a week ago when I was in music lesson, people were hitting the instruments and I got really angry and ran out. Skinny Savage, what 1 + 2? Anaya Sneed, do you like Jake Paul? I'm not too familiar with Jake Paul. I think I watched him a little bit or something. I don't like or dislike him. Yeah, bullying is horrible. I was bullied as a kid, and there was a year, like maybe 6 months, where I remember bullying somebody myself, but not aggressively. But I was bullied for a full 1.5 years for being a breakdancer, and it totally traumatized me. Yeah, to the point where I was afraid to go to the bus stop. I remember his name too. All right, let me show you guys some fan mail that came today. I haven't opened it yet. So this is from Chloe Williams in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I won't show her name, but there's the Kimock7 address, and we're gonna open it up. So I thought, I haven't opened up a lot of fan mail on a live super chat before, but I thought I would. I assume this is addressed to Chase. If it is, well, it actually looks like it's addressed to me. It's a really long letter. Wow, really long. So there's a letter addressed to Chase, and there's a really long letter addressed to me. Before I read it out loud, let me make sure it's not private or anything. Yeah, I'm not going to read this out loud. I mean, the basis of her letter is talking about um, you know, everyone's upset that I took the videos down and have to blur out Chase's face, and nobody's more upset than me, trust me. Here's a note to Chase. Chase, I love your smile, love for animals, and amazing narrator voice. All right, let's open up another package. This is from England. Somebody sent me this. I forget who it is, but they're on Facebook. And let me pull up their name because I know who it is. I want to give them credit because I know they sent this like a long time ago. I think it took like a month to get here or something crazy. If you guys are not following me and liking me on Facebook or Instagram, please do. You will not be disappointed. And I go live on Instagram at least once or twice a week. So we're going to give a shout out to the person that sent this package. His name is... See if I can find him on here. Richard Briggs. All right, this is from Richard Briggs. And Richard is from London, I guess. Let me look at his Facebook page. Richard is from Liverpool and lives in Gateshead. He's from United Kingdom. So he sent me this, and let's open it up. It's one of the more unique things that anyone's ever sent me. And I already know what it is because he talked about it. You guys are going to laugh your heads off when you see this. There's the packaging. Are you ready for this? I get a lot of cool stuff in the mail, but this is off the charts. Nobody has ever sent me a Barbra Streisand LP. And notice it's like curved because it was jammed like in a P.O. box. Like, don't ever trust the United States Postal Service for sending an LP to America. And I have a pretty big post office box. And this is his, apparently his original copy of this. And that's Barry Gibb from the from the Bee Gees on there. And this apparently was Barbra Streisand's big popular album from the 1973 or 74. And it is now twisted and warped. So I don't know how I'm going to play it. Well, actually, the LP, I could probably play that. Maybe if I set it in my mattress for like a week or something. Thank you, Richard Briggs. I assume you're not watching this live feed, but to send me an album from Liverpool is pretty darn cool. And it's definitely one of the coolest gifts anyone's ever sent me. Unbelievable. So we'll open up one more box here. I got another box that's sitting here addressed to Kimock7. So if you send me everything, don't address it to Kimock7. The address is c.wickert. And the post office box is in the description of all my videos. But I did get this, even though it was addressed to Kimock7, which is pretty funny. Let's open it up. I can still see all your super chats, by the way. Now, if I'm correct on YouTube, when I re-upload this video, all your super chats will appear. I can't promise it. All right, let's open this box. I've got my live jazz going. I assume this box is for Chase. Now, I never open his boxes, but I thought I would do this unique for YouTube tonight. To do something live like this. Live is a pretty cool thing. This box came from New Jersey. I have no idea what's in it. Hopefully it won't blow up in my face. That'd be one cool video on YouTube, huh? Kimock7's head blows off. All right, here we go. I have no idea what's in these boxes, so. always a surprise. My great parrot is the coolest bird. I assume it's like a coloring drawing board. It's blank paper drawing for Chase. He loves these things. And what he likes to do is, in one sitting, he likes to take one of these and he likes to draw on every single piece of paper in the book in one sitting. And he will do it without ever losing focus, very rapidly, draw like 100 animals, and then he's been counting 1 to 60 lately, and then drawing the alphabet all the way A to Z on every single page. I don't know how or why he's doing that, but thank you so much for sending this. So that's what's in this box. There's no note. I have no idea who it's from. It said it's from 3D Rose in New Jersey. I mean, maybe that's, I don't even know if that's the same Rose that I had talked to before. I have no idea. Oh, it's getting warm in here. So I'll have to read these other letters that somebody sent off camera. Yeah. So let me draw one of those. I'll go grab one of those drawings of an example of Chase, what he does with those books. So this is an example of, a friend of mine, Michael Papajohn in Colorado, sent him this with oil pastels. It was the same thing. So once the Chase got a hold of this, every single page in here, in one setting, he went and drew with the pastels. The octopus, the snake, the lizard, the sun, the gecko, the alligator, the pail, and then he drew the alphabet. It goes on and on. And once he's done with this, he'll just throw it aside, or he'll throw it in the garbage quite often. I've been able to salvage this because I hid it. If I don't hide this, he will shred it or throw it in the garbage, or he will keep it and hold on to it for many, many months or years. There are certain things that he holds on to for many, many years. This would not be one of them. And yeah, that's his platypus. He's been into platypus lately. And this past weekend, he was into otters. He had a little toy otter. I always loved this ant that he drew. He just, bam, draws that free hand. It's like the coolest looking ant you've ever seen. So when I give him this new book, he will devour it. Yeah. So, hey, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Thank you for all your patience with the channel. I've experienced a whole lot of emotions, and I want you guys to know that. Yeah, I love the gecko. It's the best. Nico Rivera, my brother is autistic, and he just doesn't like people touching him. Is that normal for kids with autism age? I'm 8. Yeah, it's normal. If you watch like The Good Doctor, when they hug Sean, he just keeps his arms down. The physical affection is not something that Chase desires, and he will react to me hugging him the exact same way Sean does in The Good Doctor. And if the only real form of affection that Chase seems to enjoy is if he's being tickled. He does like being tickled, and he will ask us to tickle him forever. He's always asked us to tickle him. But you got to understand that the person with autism is going to interpret a hug or being touched differently than you would interpret it yourself. Patrick Lemrain says, I'm 38. I don't like to be touched. Autism don't stop at 18. Chase, or the person with autism, they're experiencing another person physically touching them very differently than a neurotypical would experience that. Chase likes pressure, like he'll like a weighted blanket and stuff. It's an interesting subject, and I think I've already answered. I can only answer these questions from Chase's perspective and my experience just with Chase. I don't know how he reacts to other people touching him outside of his family. I don't know. Yeah. What are some of Chase's favorite activities? He likes to hike. He likes to go to the pool. The things we do together are hanging out here at the counter and drawing. He loves to draw. He loves to spend his time with his electronics and his toys and watching YouTube and recording his voice. He enjoys making movies and videos and YouTube. He enjoys going to places where he's stimulated in a calm environment, like a Hobby Lobby or a toy store or a park. He loves going on swings. He loves swimming. To the degree that he likes just like school, I don't quite know. I can't speak too knowledgeably about it. His family, his teachers all communicate to me that he enjoys it, he does well. His grades are great. He's graduating from high school in a couple weeks here. He loves his interactions and sociability with his family and his sibling. He's a very happy kid. I don't mean to skip anybody. Anais Steed, why are you skipping me? It's obviously important. Well, Sneed, let me look back up here and see if I can find your question. I'm not skipping anybody, but there's a gazillion questions that fly through. What's up, Priscilla? As with everything else, each person is different. Abby doesn't mind hugs most times. Yeah, Chase, sometimes, I really have to pause long and hard for me to articulate exactly how I'm feeling about certain questions and Chase. He does not like a long hug. He loves to be tickled. He likes wrestle time, He'll hold my hand. You guys, you get a good understanding of him in the videos over the last year or so of his social ability in terms of physical affection with me. And I can't speak for other people in his life, He may be more affectionate than most people with autism. I would tend to think he is. All right, Sneed, let me see if I find your question. I appreciate your patience. As always, I appreciate everyone's patience. There's no teaching Kimock7 how to run a live SuperChat. All I could do is wing it every time and do my best. And try and add a little color to it and fun and music and answering your questions and trying to stay on focus and on topic, which is answering your questions. I don't see your question, Sneed. I'm going to go down to the bottom page, Sneed, see if I can find it again. Daniel Robertson, do I think the good doctor is accurate for showing someone with autism? Only for high-functioning autism. Don't get me wrong. The person with high-functioning autism can also have a lot of same sensory issues that Chase would have, and Sean does. So I think the good doctor and atypical provide a great snapshot of a high-functioning boy, and I stress boy as in male, with autism that is over the age of 17, 18 years old, But what I fear with shows like that is that you got to understand that in terms of the overall spectrum of autism, the whole spectrum itself, only about 20% of those with autism are going to be at the functioning level of Sean on The Good Doctor or the character on Atypical. So 80% of them are not going to be at the level of that. A good 50-60% of them are going to be more functioning along Chase's level or even Abby's level or other different versions. And the more you watch on YouTube of all these different channels, the more you're going to gain a perspective of the different forms and varieties. But you know, it's great that The Good Doctor and Atypical is spreading autism awareness through entertainment. But my hope would be that there would be shows in the future that focus more on the typical person with autism. I would not consider Sean The Good Doctor as the typical person with autism. It's a great show, by the way. I love watching it. What time is it? It's 9:30. Okay, was I going to show you guys anything else? So what I'm going to do is hopefully upload some more of the videos I took down and blur out Chase's face completely. It's a long, arduous process, and I can't promise you it's going to happen. And I have all the videos saved. Chase and I opened up presents this past weekend, and I videotaped his hands opening up the presents without showing his face. I'm going to edit that together and put up a vlog. In fact, I have all the gifts right next to me. So here's some of the gifts Chase opened last weekend. He got a Slinky. He absolutely loved this. I don't know why he left it here, though. He got an egg that he needs to put in water so it can grow. He got a merged cube hold holograms thing. Most of the stuff, he just kind of looks at it and he like chucks it over his shoulder. He got a tiger. He got lots of more animals and toys. And if you follow me on the Kimock7 Autism blog on Facebook, you'll see that somebody sent him a custom jar that was custom created and painted and molded and glued together with all these animals and bugs and spiders. And it was just adorable. And Chase's name is on it. And then you unscrew the jar, and the inside of it was all kinds of animals. Chase was laughing his head off while he was opening it. And trust me, I wish I could show you guys his expressions on that video. It was unbelievable. Well, I didn't videotape his face, but he was laughing his head off. And he absolutely loved it. And that was from a girl named Starfire. He got a turtle, so he got a whole bag of a bunch of animals and stuff like that, as he typically does. Most people that send Chase stuff, it's animals, it's pencils, it's drawing materials, and he never gets old, and I never get old of it, and we can never have enough of it. So thank you guys for your generosity. Thank you guys for your super chat donations. Thank you guys for all your support of the channel. It's going to be a fun and exciting summer with Chase, and we're going to get more and more adventurous and try and do some different things and try and do a little traveling with him around the Midwest. Yeah. What's up, Sneak? What happened to your brother's death? I'm sorry to hear about that. I'm not following what you're saying on it. Smith, what was those molds of animals you would pour in this liquid stuff to make bugs and stuff? I don't know. Grape juice. If I can't see it, maybe he can't see it. Top Notch. I'll give you a shout out, Top Notch. Autism teenage years. What are your summer plans? Well, I'm still formulating them. Hey, I'll tell you one thing. It's outdoors, and it's hiking, and it's doing something different. There's many different places I could take him here throughout the Midwest. I'm not ruling out, flying him somewhere or something like that, but I doubt that's going to happen. Fresh love. I guess you guys are having a conversation yourselves, which I like. Thank you, Writer Yo. Allie Lovejoy, what advice can you give a new autism teacher? What do you appreciate in Chase's teachers, and what do you not appreciate? Well, Chase's teachers in the past, I'm going way back to his Easter Seal years, because that's really my only reference that I was actively, sit in on classes and stuff. These teachers were so well informed, so well educated, so open-hearted and loving and knowledgeable and patient. We always talk about the word patience, and they're skilled. Teaching a person with autism to have functional language or try and learn functional language is a slow, arduous process that's done through different pictures and peg systems and photographs and associations. And it takes great dedication and great patience and tenacity and all the different words that I've used in the past. If I think back to Chase's early years of ABA therapy, his best teachers they love what they did too, you can tell when a teacher loves what they do, they're passionate about it, and that passion and love comes through, that they take great satisfaction and gratitude knowing that they themselves are having a tremendous impact on the individual with autism. And it's got to be a very, very difficult job. I could not imagine. I don't even know if I could do it. Yeah, I hope that's helpful. Smith Creepy Crawlers, what was I thinking of vintage toy bug making kit? Don't remember. Writer Yo. All right, I'm gonna wrap up the super chat here shortly. We're gonna turn up some more music, and I have my guitar out here for you, so maybe I'll play a song. Aaron Ashley, I'm not gonna get into the reasons why, but I will say just be patient with me, okay? Patience, patience, patience. Stay with me, stick with me. I promise you, Kimock7 will not disappoint. I will continue for advocacy and awareness and acceptance in many different forms and fashions. Perhaps I will be able to have future videos that have Chase drawing with his hands, narrating, and I'm working on those things. So I can't promise you anything. Thank you, Teenage Years. Hey, you guys, if you haven't subscribed to Autism to Teenage Years, please do so. Her son has a lot of similarities of Chase and a lot of differences. And it's been an educational process for me watching her videos as well of her son. It's just wild to continue to learn and have that reference points and associations of the different functionalities of autism and challenges, if you will, not only for the person with autism, but for the parent. And it can be very, very difficult. Espar, how severe is Chase's autism? Well, there was a time where Chase was pretty low functioning, nonverbal up till the age of 7 or so. And I've always told people he's more of the medium functioning autism. Allie Lovejoy, I love the creative ways you are planning on still spreading awareness with the new direction. Thank you so much. I need to hear that. I really do. I need you guys' positive feedback and support because I'm going through a very, very, very difficult, challenging time with, I've worked so hard on the channel. I've worked so hard the last 7-8 months, and I've dedicated so much time and effort to it. And to have to take down most of the tremendous, incredible vlogs for now is nobody's more disappointed than I am. But if you watch my other previous vlogs here, you know that I am an optimist. I'm not a pessimist, and I'm a very positive, forward-thinking person. And I'm a very happy person who has a lot to be happy about. So we're gonna keep on keeping on. And you guys should know that Chase is a very happy, very developing very well, and just a great, great kid. And that's what's most important in the end is his happiness. And yeah. Where's Chase? He's with his mama. Northern Wisconsin? All right.